seeing the unseen, because there's more available to us than we know. And it's not being held back because God doesn't want to give it to you. He's looking for every possible reason to give it to you. God is just that kind of God. But here's the main issue. The more you see, the more you believe you see. And that's a problem. You know, how many of you have seen that sitcom with, the physicist guy, what's his name, Sheldon, Big Bang Theory. And he says one day, because he's brilliant, he sees a lot. I mean, he feels the world, he detects, he's astute. I mean, and nobody sees as much as him. So he says one day, don't you think if I was wrong, I would know it? Like, that's the fallacy that comes with seeing a lot, is you think you see everything that can be seen. And so seeing a lot can be an impediment to being able to see more. And so because you just assume that anything that's available you already have. On the other hand, the less you realize you see, the more you want to see. As soon as God begins to show you that you didn't see something, it creates a sense of weakness, humility, a sense that I need something I don't have. So I want to put it out there. The premise of today's message is you need something you don't have. And there's something out there that you think you might see, but you don't see. And I'm telling you, this plays out on every level of the church, every level of the kingdom that you can imagine. It happens again and again and again. Because, let me give you a quick snapshot. So many ruts to go into. It's so fun. But I realized as I was in Guatemala and listening to some folks there that I began to see the revelation that they were seeing, but I began to see the layers of it that were still beyond them, that they were giving really the very coarse outline of a truth that had depths that were beyond comprehension. But if you start using the same language and talking to somebody about that stuff, and you have a deeper understanding of it, you know when they respond back to you whether they're understanding what you're saying. I can't tell you how many times I start to talk to somebody about something. Maybe let's say metaspheres, because I've just written a book on that, and I love that revelation. But I start to talk about somebody, and they start talking in a very generic way about atmosphere and presence. Oh yeah, I've felt God's presence, and you can tell right away whether they have that depth of understanding or not. But if you share the idea of a revelation, oh, God is good. God is good. Well, how good is he? Really good. Well, the goodness of God has unimaginable layers of depth. And the truth is, while we can all use that shared language of God is good all the time. And all the time. Yeah, right? So we know that. Let's talk about something else. We know that one. Right? Layers. Layers. There are layers to everything we think we know beyond our perception. And God is saying, who has the humility to know that there's a layer in the goodness of God, in the love of God, and things we already thematically are familiar with that we have no idea about? That if we would just give up the presumption that we know, we would open ourselves to more layers of that thing, which would translate to a more effective life as we actually are able to convey those deeper things that we thought we knew. That's what's available to us. And once the veil is pulled back and we start to get a glimpse of the eternal dimensions of these things we think we know, we're going to be astounded, shocked, and even humiliated that we didn't lean in harder because we thought we knew.